welcome back to my channel. Welcome back for another video. So for today's video, I'm going to be kind of doing like a 1 year like update in a way since my Disney college program, just kind of like what all I think about it looking back like a 1 year later, all that good stuff. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you find it interesting. Honestly, on my channel, I haven't done Disney content since I left my program, but definitely if you want to check out those videos, you can. I'm extremely awkward, but yeah, if you want to check them, I have a whole playlist on my channel for all my Disney videos that I filmed there. But yeah, I need to put on a pair of ears, so that's number one. Two, I guess I could like tell you my name, all that good stuff. So my name is Lauren. I did the Disney college program for the fall of 2019. I originally was not planning on doing the program this past fall. Give you a reference, it is August 7th of 2020 when I'm filming this. I will try to get this up today, but I left for my program on August 3rd, and then I had my casting, it's on August 5th, I want to say is when I had my casting, and then I had my traditions, I think it's August 9th. So I was debating when I wanted to film this, if I wanted to film this on my actual like casting day or my actual traditions day, because traditions is when you're actually truly like you're a cast member. Casting's more just kind of like, you know, the legal back behind the scenes, all that stuff, the paperwork kind of day. So all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm probably, I don't know which ears I'm gonna put on. I do want to bring up the ears that I got from small shops, small Etsy shops before I went on my program. So I have these that are Pixar ears. They are super cute. I love these. And these are the ears that I wore like to death when I first got in my program, because I didn't have ears already. So this is what I was wearing all the time. And these are all super comfortable. I will leave links to all the Etsy shops down below that I am mentioning. These are Beauty and the Beast inspired. They're kind of like a little cutout of a rose. These are so pretty as well. And then this one, I think the Etsy shop has changed the design a little bit, but she still sells something similar to them. But these are kind of like these Halloween ears. It's got a spider web, silver bow, and it's just got a silver backing. But yeah, so those are those. And then all the rest of them, let's be real, once you get your cast member discount, you don't buy anything in the park's regular price. I'll just start there. Pretty much all the rest of these I think I got at Cast Connection, so I'm just gonna like run through these really quickly. Wait, these I didn't. These I actually got, I think they had them somewhere, Charmin Charlie's or something like that, but they're like the rose gold ones. These are like giraffe inspired. I hope y'all can really see the print. I'm sitting in front of a door, so there's good lighting. Haunted Mansion. If you know what the ears look like, there's something missing in the middle, but I don't really mind it. I personally like it a little bit more with this because it's like a little bat in the middle. I think it looks more little kiddish. These I had wanted so bad, and you will find these at Cast Connections all the time. I think mine is missing a tassel up here at the top, but you know, it doesn't really matter. Or are these the rose gold ears? I don't really know, but here's another pair of ears. Also got at Cast Connections. Another pair, Monsters Inc. inspired for Sully. And then another pair for The Nightmare Before Christmas. So yeah, I just wanted to run through those really quickly. I kept all of them in like this little bin, and I've thought about selling them or something like that, but I'm also like, I kind of want to keep them for memories. But yeah, I don't know what I want to wear. You know, I love Disney and I love the Disney company, but I really want to support like a small shop. I believe I can still find these on Etsy. I believe. Like, I don't want to be wearing these the whole time and then you can't find them, but like, I think you can. So I'm going to wear my Pixar ones. Yeah. Yay. Anyways, I'm just going to get right into my program. Honestly, When I was applying, I think I made a video on my channel, like my goals for 2019 and just like goals for life in general. And I've always known that I want to do the Disney College program. I found out about it through, I used to work at Chick-fil-A, and I found out about it through two people that I worked with, and they told me about it, and then I started doing research and all that stuff and looking into so many channels. Who is it? Used to watch Olaf and Olivia, I think is her channel. Like, I think I probably watched like all of her videos, if I'm being honest. Brooke Rogers, I watched like all of her videos. Once Upon a Brown, I watched like all of hers. Specifically, I watched videos on channels who had a role that I knew I was interested in. So I was really interested in merchandise, so that's why I probably watched those channels. That ended up being the role I got. So yeah, I kind of want to give advice, kind of want to just go over my experience, all that stuff. I don't have notes. Hopefully this video isn't too long. I'm gonna try to like talk fast and kind of like get all my points across. So this video might be all over the place, but then it might also be like informative. So that's the kind of vibe I'm going for. So essentially the application process, I'm just gonna like say this and just like be done. I know you want to be in the program and I know you want to do it so bad, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, when it comes to selecting your roles, because I'm not going to go into the whole application process. There's so many videos on that where they can go in full detail, but I'm just going to talk specifically on the roles. If you truly don't want to do that role, don't say that you have interest in everything just so that you get into the program. Because here's the thing that happens. They have on the application, there's like roles that are at the top that are more like top priority, more of a thing of like they need a lot of people. Like I think merchandise is one, custodial is one. Who else is there? I know those two for sure are roles where they need a lot of people to do that. So it's like if you put interest in a role that's on like that higher up where it's like they're asking, do you have interest in it? If you put any kind of interest, be prepared. You might get it. Oh, quick service food and beverage is one of them. Like, if you don't have interest in it, don't put that you have interest in it. When I did mine, I put down interest for 3 roles. Merchandise was my top. And then my second one was the costuming. And then my third one was the TennieBeeBoutique. Looking back, I kind of wish that once you really get in the program, you really see how the roles really work. I'm definitely really glad I did not get TennieBeeBoutique. I would have not been good at that. I kind of wish instead that I had put interest in character attendant or photo pass. I feel like I would have had interest in those as well. But I was also going off of what am I actually studying in school. So I am a fashion merchandise major. So that is why I picked merchandise. And what else did I put down? I don't even remember what I put down. Anyways, that's why I picked the roles I picked. But I'm just telling you now, please do not put down a role that you don't have interest in just so that you can get in. Because if you don't like what you're doing, and the thing is, a lot of times, like, you either really like what you're doing or you don't mind what you're doing, and you work with great people, like, it's always kind of hard to get both. Like, I was kind of like, I didn't mind merchandise. I will get into that in a minute about how I felt about my role, my location, and all that stuff. I didn't mind my role, but like the people I worked with, I absolutely love them. I adore them. Like, they made my program, honestly, and I'm just gonna say it. Like, the people I worked with were the best. But even when I got on my phone interview, the lady, like, once she got done with like the basic, like, you are who you are, my name, what school I go to, all that stuff. The next thing she noticed when we were getting into the roles, she was like, you didn't put down very many roles. And I think I said this out loud, and I told her, I was like, I didn't want to get something that I didn't really want to do. I was like, I put down what I would actually want to do or what I'd actually have interest in. So I only put down 3 roles and I got in. So don't feel like just because you put down, say, like less than 5 roles that you're not going to get in, because that's just not the case. I say definitely put down more than 1, but like, if you don't want to do custodial or quick service food and beverage, don't put that you have interest in it. Like, really do your research on the roles, what each one actually is. Watch videos on people who have done the college program and who have actually been in that role and can tell you what it's like. Of course, take it with a grain of salt. Everyone's experience is different. But that's my little tangent about that. So obviously I got merchandise. That was my top role. One thing that I really was like upset about with merchandise was, so I ended up getting Disney Springs, I think it's called like West Side Floater merch or something like that. So I was in the Star Wars Galactic Outpost, Superhero Headquarters, Candy Cauldron, and Glow Cart. So I had all 4 of those. My only thing that I really just didn't like is, I wish in the application process they actually matched people with what they know about Disney. Because, like, I'll tell you right now, I don't know anything about Star Wars. I barely know anything about superheroes. So, like, whenever schedule dropped, if I got a Star Wars shift, I quickly traded that for, like, a Candy Cauldron or a Glow Cart. Because, like, if a guest asked me a question about a character, I don't know the characters. Like, I was almost like no help in that store. So that's why I would always trade those shifts off, because I was just like, I feel like I'm useless here. Like, I can help someone build a lightsaber, I can ring somebody out, but like, if they ask me questions about a character or something like that, like, I don't know the character. So I kind of wish on that aspect they matched people more with like what they know about Disney, what parts they know, because like, some people really know a lot about Pixar, some people don't. Some people really know a lot about Star Wars and some people don't. And it's like, if you put somebody where they know stuff best, you're gonna get a better outcome. So I kind of wish that after they knew who they wanted to put in, before they made the person say, or in the process of like, when you say yes I will, yes I want to accept, or yes I want to do this, say, this is where we want you to take this little quiz to figure out what you know about Disney. And just a little quiz of like, what do you know about Star Wars? How, like, on those like little scales of like, you know a lot, you don't know anything, you know a little bit. Like, how much do you know? Just to like make it easier. Like, I get they gotta get people, but like, it would just make it so much easier on the cast member if you put people where they really know what they're doing. But on the flip side, I still wouldn't change my location, because the people I worked with, I loved it, and that's what really made it for me. Specifically with my location, I got off, so where I worked, a lot of the part-timers and full-timers kind of got the morning shifts, and the CPs and ICPs got the late night shifts. And specifically with Candy Cauldron, since it's food, it takes a lot longer for us to clean up. And we would get off, specifically on the weekends, like, I say like 2 a.m., something like that, or 1:30. Because the thing is, when you have to clean things a certain way, everything has to be really sanitary. And if someone just falls behind just a little bit, like, our schedule would say 1:30, but that didn't always happen. Sometimes we get off at 2 a.m. And that's just how it was. Because I mean, if say if like our kitchen was running behind trying to make stuff for the next morning, that person who say is the dishes person would be put behind because they can't wash the dishes if kitchen's not done. And then there were certain rules that it's like, if kitchen's still producing, you can't do this, or all that stuff, and etc. So it's not always like you got off when your schedule said. You got off when the job was done, which is good, because you just need to get off when it's done, not just when you're ready to go. Because no, everyone's ready to go at 1:30 in the morning. Like, let's be real. Normally those shifts, we would come in, say like 6:30, 5:30. Normally, sometimes someone would come in at like 4 or something like that, but typically if you came in at 4, you would get off right at closing. But that's that. And specifically like in my apartment where I was, which I will get into more detail in a minute, I was the last person to get off of work. I would be coming in at 2 a.m. Everybody else would be asleep. So yeah, let's get into housing. Yeah. So I have a whole video on my channel showing you where I lived. I lived in Chatham, a 4-bedroom, 8-person. It was interesting living with 8 people. So I was kind of like, I kind of put it as a rotating apartment, because when I first came, the week I came, I was the only new person that moved in. And then the next week, 3 more people came in. And then by October, 4 people left. And then, when was another one? It was October, a lot of people left. And then we got new people coming in within the next week. And then like most everybody left in about January. And yeah, it's interesting living with a lot of people who have different schedules, because I lived with, for the majority of my program, I kind of say that I lived with about 4 ICPs and 4 Americans. That's how I just explain it to people, because as I just said, people were moving in and out, but that's just the easiest way for me to put it. And honestly, like, we had 2 people who were ICPs who were from India, who their shifts, they had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, and me not getting off till 2. So it was always kind of a thing of like, somebody was awake at our apartment. Somebody was always awake. So there was that. I wouldn't change my living situation. There's some parts that wasn't great. I mean, you're living with people that you don't really know. Even if you do a roommate link up on like the Facebook groups, you still don't really know each other. I'm just gonna be honest. Typically in most of the apartments, there's always one person that's difficult. And I've had from even friends who linked up with everybody in their apartment, and people who didn't link up with everybody. There's always one person who is a little bit more difficult to live with. That's just the case. The apartment that I lived at, so I was in Chatham. I was in, oh, I can't remember what building or room. I was like right near the field. And like, I didn't mind it, but to a degree, like whenever, so all the housing events happen at Chatham. Just about all of them. Like all the like welcoming events and all that stuff. The graduations. And the thing is, there's welcoming and graduations all throughout the program. Like, you will really see that when you get there. There's always new people coming and more people leaving, because you have so many, you have people who are on culinary programs, you have ICPs, CPs, like you have so many different programs and so many different start dates that people are moving in and leaving all the time. So being right next to the field wasn't always great, because you would hear the music. So there was that. They stopped the parties, I think, at like 10 o'clock, I think. So it wasn't like super late, but still, like if you're someone who had like an early morning shift and you're right near the field and they're like having a party out there and you have to be up at work at 7 a.m. or you're at park opening, yeah, it can kind of not be great. I also conveniently found out I was right near the fitness center. Didn't know that. You know, I didn't have time. I didn't make time to go to the fitness center. As much walking as I did around the parks, I didn't have time for that. So that's that. I'm gonna touch a little bit on like the parks and the fun aspect of what everyone is so pumped about, which is what everyone's always excited about, the fun. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this here. First off, you're here to work. You're there to work. You're there to do a job. Yes, you get to have fun, like you are able to go into the parks as much as you want because you have a self-admission pass, you're an employee. So yeah, but you were also there to work. That is the bottom line of why you were there. So I regret, at the beginning, I'm very much a very nervous person and a very like shy person. And like where I worked, we had like a big like group me, I think, or messaging, Facebook Messenger, I think is what it was. And like there's always somebody who was off that day. There was always like 2 or 3 people who were off. And I regret, like at times, like I would be off and I would see, there was always like, say, like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning, someone would be like, hey, I'm going to Magic Kingdom. Who else is off? Who else wants to come? And like I'd say I would have off, but I would just be like so nervous about like, I get like really bad social anxiety. Like no matter how much I'm friends with somebody or like am around a person, I still will get social anxiety about just hanging out with them. And I kind of like wish that I just like went and hanged out with them and went and did stuff, because like every time I did do stuff with people that I worked with, I had a great time, I had fun, and I really wish that I had just like, whenever they said, hey, I'm going to like Animal Kingdom, whoever else is off today, I wish I had just like said like, oh, I'll meet you there or something like that. So definitely like try to make friends, and don't always like feel like you have to go to the parks alone. Because like I feel like I was the opposite of like some people don't like going to the parks alone, but like I was fine with going to the parks alone. So in a way, the thing is, when you're going to the parks alone, like obviously you get to decide what you get to do today, you get to decide what kind of, where you're gonna eat, all that stuff. It's not like figuring out what the group wants to do or something like that. So there's that, but at the same time, you're alone. You're alone. And like I promise you, probably where you work, you will have somebody who loves doing like meeting characters, or some people who love roller coasters or things like that. So you'll probably be able to find someone. If not, I feel like you will. So that is one big factor. Is I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to work down at Disney and I'm just going to get to go to the parks every day. You're not going to have the energy to go to the park every day. Like, there's going to be times where you're working a shift and you are so tired. Like, I got to the point of where I was so exhausted, and I never really knew like what my limits were when it comes to exhaustion until I worked with Disney, because I would say go to the park early in the morning and then I'd have a shift, say at 5:30 in the afternoon, and then I'd get off like at 2 o'clock. And then say I'd hit the parks or Cast Connections or something like that, or even Disney Springs, but I'd say like 11 o'clock, and then I'd maybe bring my clothes with me depending on when I'd leave. Like, and I did that, and I ended up getting myself so exhausted and so tired. Like, do not feel like you have to be able to rush and do all this stuff and do this and that and feel like you have to just go. Like, please like take the time to take a cut off for a second. I don't know where it cut me off at, but the last thing I was saying was just be sure to get the rest that you need. Because for example, for me, when I was at that state of just go and not really sitting down, I ended up making myself sick. I ended up getting myself exhausted and tired and sick. And one day I was at Candy Cauldron and I was just so tired, and I had stuff like personally that was going on like back home, and just adding on that I was already like, didn't kind of like, that was one of the days it's like I really kind of didn't want to be at work. I just wanted to take a nap, and then adding everything on, I ended up making myself sick to where I had to go to the doctor, and they didn't know what was wrong with me because I was just, overall I was fine, but I was exhausted. And I had to leave work early that day. Yeah, and I remember like, I kind of like, honestly, I felt bad, and I like started crying at work because I was just like, I hate to leave and I feel bad for leaving, because I'm not someone to just like not show up to a shift or to just like call out all the time. Like if I called out, it was for a reason. But yeah, anyways, my point, let yourself take the rest that you need. Don't overexhaust yourself. Like, definitely go to the parks, have your fun, because it's a one-in-a-lifetime experience, and it's a one-of-a-lifetime chance to be able to work for Disney, and specifically work for Disney where you can go to the parks as much as you want and not have to pay, because we all know Disney's expensive. I mean, you still have to pay for like your food and your merchandise, but like that park pass, a one-day pass, that's expensive. So have your fun, but just like remember to take rest. Remember to, you know, breathe. This kind of made me just think of my next point. I'm really just like going off just straight of what I think. I really hope this video isn't too long. But the next thing I want to talk about is the Disney bubble and the whole mentality of the Disney bubble, and that you have to be at the parks doing something Disney related. Everything you do while you're there, just like that, it has to be Disney focused. And that's not very great, because the thing is, like, I remember the first time I had went, it was like to Target, but it was like the first time I had really went outside that like little Disney bubble, because where housing is, right near housing, there's a Publix. On the other end, there's a Walmart not too far. Vista Way has a Walgreens right beside it. Then right near that, there's like a Wendy's and a Chick-fil-A, all right in walking distance. And then, you know, the buses are there, so you could take the buses to work and all that stuff. So you kind of get in this kind of routine of just the Disney bubble and like only being within like those limits. When it comes to like the Disney bubble, I stopped the time and I saw this video is already getting long. But essentially, like, don't feel like everything you have to do has to be Disney related. Like, it's very easy to get wrapped up in like the Disney energy and the Disney bubble and doing everything that's Disney related, because like that's the whole reason of why you're there. You're there to work, and then you're also there to have fun and, you know, all that stuff. But don't feel like you can't do anything else. Like, I definitely say explore Orlando, and I really wish I had explored Orlando more than I did. Just because there's other things to do. So that is all I want to say. Next, I kind of was thinking about this when I stopped my film, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about like the Disney influencer, YouTuber, Instagrammer, all that stuff while you're there. I do not consider myself at all a Disney vlogger or Instagrammer. Like, I vlogged my program, but here's the thing. If you're gonna vlog your program, do it because you want to. Do it for fun. Do it so that you have the memories. Because I'm gonna tell you now, if you think you're just gonna like pop on a camera and be able to just blow up, if you think you're gonna be able to just turn on your camera and just get all these views and subscribers, and thing is, when that doesn't happen, you're gonna be upset. So I just say, if you want to do it, but do it for the right reasons. Do it because you want to show your journey, all that kind of stuff. You want to do it for fun. Do it for you. Don't do it because you want to become an influencer and a Disney influencer, because the thing is, let me tell you now, the Disney DCP, the Disney DCP or ICP community is very small. It is a very niche market. And then even if you expand into the Disney vlogger, it's still a very niche market on YouTube and Instagram. So, I mean, I don't want to say it's like you're only gonna get so big, but like, don't go into it with that mindset is what I'm saying. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. Next thing I kind of want to touch on is saving your money. Please save your money. I know it's tempting while you're there. There's gonna be so many things you're gonna want to buy. There's gonna be so many things that you want to get. And at the beginning, I think I didn't really spend too much. But then towards the end, I kind of did, because I kind of was like, you know what? I'm about to leave. I'm about to never get this kind of employee discount again, because I came during the fall. So I got that holiday discount. I was like, I'm never going to get this kind of discount again to get Disney merchandise. I'm going to get my stuff. And I ended up buying something that I really didn't need. But, so I say definitely try to save your money. Don't feel like you have to rush and buy everything, because especially if you're there for the fall. I can't speak for the spring or the summer programs because I wasn't there. But for the fall, so when the holidays come, you get a bigger discount, because it's the holidays, employee discount, you get a bigger one. So I say if there's something you see at the very beginning of your program, honestly wait. Honestly, like, wait until the holiday time comes, and wait until you can get a better discount. Honestly, don't rush and feel like you have to buy everything. Like, literally, I just, like, all these ears that I just showed you at the beginning, all of these I got at Cast Connections. Well, not that one. All the rest of these I got at Cast Connections. So don't feel like you have to, like, rush and buy, like, the newest thing. Because you're just going to be using a lot of your money. Like, try to save some of your money. Try to come back home with more money. I don't know how that works exactly for internationals because of, like, currencies and all that. But definitely don't waste your money. I'm going to kind of just, like, wrap up the video because my camera has turned off like 3 times. So I'm thinking it's kind of telling me that this video is too long and that I should end it. So I'm just gonna do just, like, overall, if you've thought about doing the program, I'd say just go for it, honestly. I wouldn't change a thing about my program. I don't regret it one bit. I definitely say it's worth it at the end of the day, and especially because, like, there is an application process, and there is, like, you have to be in college, either in college or I think it's like 6 months to a year since graduation. I say go for it, honestly. Like, you never know. And the thing is, you can apply multiple times. I got very lucky and I got in on my very first try. So I say at least go for it. I mean, what do you have to lose? Like, if you get in, then you plan accordingly. If you don't, you still have the next time. So that's how I look at it. And that's how me and, like, my parents went about it, because I told them, like, after the fact. Like, my mom knew I always wanted to do it, and my dad, like, I kind of told him after. And I kind of told him, I was like, if I get in, then I get in, and we'll handle it, and we'll deal with it then. Yeah, so I say at least go for it, at least try. Put your best foot forward. If you're gonna start watching a bunch of videos on, like, how to prepare for it, don't overwatch videos and stress yourself out. I think I watched videos on, like, what to expect with the application process and, like, what each step was, just so I know what I'm getting myself into. But, like, I don't think I watched any of, like, how some people record their phone interview. I don't think I watched any of those, because, like, I didn't want to over stress myself out, because that can happen. I did make notes. I just kind of had, like, a little note sheet on, I found, what is it, like, this site that had questions that they could possibly ask you. And the thing is about that, like, I think I wrote down, like, 10 questions and my answers. I didn't get asked not one of those questions. So I don't know, it's kind of a thing of, like, you can prepare for it, but you can only prepare so much. And you don't want to come off scripted. Like, you want to come off just, like, just very genuine and real, and, you know, this is you. You don't want to come off, like, very scripted and, like you just know the answer for every little thing. Prepare, but don't over prepare. But yeah, I'm going to, when my camera turned off for a second, I just checked my phone to see if I had my videos from the Happily Ever After fireworks show, and I have the ending, and then I think it's the beginning. So I will put those at the very end of this clip. It's the it's what you normally see at the end of everyone's kind of, like, last DCP vlog, ICP vlog, the part of the fireworks show and all that stuff. So yeah, I will put that at the end. I hope this video is actually helpful and informative. I'm going to, like, look back and edit, and hopefully I actually said something of importance and something that helps someone out, especially with all this going on with the coronavirus and how we're all quarantined. And I just want to give a little moment for everyone who did apply for 2020 to do their program. I am so sorry for how this happened, and that y'all aren't able to do your program, and that y'all aren't able to experience it. and all that stuff, and I really hope that Disney is making it right and all that stuff, because there was nothing anyone could really do. But yeah, I say if you want to do it, go for it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful for someone. If you want to check out my cringy videos of me at the parks and being awkward about filming in public, you definitely can. I will probably have the apartment tour for Chatham linked throughout this video as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Also, a little side note, I do fashion related videos on my channel, so if you like that, definitely subscribe. But yeah, I feel like I kind of need to throw this in there. I don't do Disney videos anymore, but like, you know, if you want to, I have other videos. But yeah, okay, I'm gone.
Each of us has a dream, a heart's desire. It calls to us. And when we're brave enough to listen and bold enough to pursue, that dream will lead us on a journey to discover who we're meant to be. All we have to do is look inside our hearts and unlock the magic within. Ready to begin. Let the wonder take hold. Feel it draw you in. What's the moment? And so our journey comes to an end, but yours continues on. Grab hold of your dreams and make them come true. For you are the key to unlocking your own magic. Now go, let your dreams guide you. Reach out and find your happily ever after. The story, the losses and all the glory were changed by the way we live.